What's up, everybody? Scott Leese here with my co-host and friend Richard Harris. Welcome to another edition, a special edition of the Surf and Sales podcast. We are here today with the one, the only Riley Harris, Richard's eldest son. Welcome to the show, Riley.
Thanks.
Good to have you, man. I'm excited to chat with you. And I'm really feeling special that you wore your tuxedo shirt for this very important business meeting. Thank you very much for being professional.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Riley, we have a sponsor, and you said you'd like to read the sponsor notes. So go for it.
Okay. Lead 411 is where you can get unlimited mobile direct phone numbers, sales, internet data via role changes, jobs, fundings, and slick Chrome extension that plugs into LinkedIn.
Scott, he does that better than you, buddy.
Does. I'm actually thinking we should just take that snippet of him, doing the sponsor role and just use it.
We could have we could have all the boys record all the sponsorship stuff.
They're probably better at it than me.
Yeah.
So Riley, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? How old you are? What grade you're in? This kind of thing.
So I live in California.
What part of California?
Can I say? Moraga, California.
There you go. Okay.
I'm 12 years old as of a few weeks ago. And I'm going into 6th grade.
You are 12 years old now? Why did I think that you were a little bit younger than Braden, who's also 12, my son?
He's like 6 months younger than Braden.
Ah, I see. So okay, you guys overlap a little bit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Going into 6th grade, is that middle school?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the last couple months in particular, you've become really, really interested in business. And I know you've been asking your dad lots of questions and you've started a few things. So what made you want to get started in business and learn about, selling and marketing and all this kind of thing?
So I was bored because there was basically nothing to do. I wanted to make some money and I wanted to help people.
These are three very good reasons that I relate to all of them, actually.
Every one of them, right?
Yeah.
From a 12-year-old. Right?
Yeah.
Right. What were you doing at 12, Scott? It wasn't this.
Well, obviously not. No, and I was not wise enough to be thinking about helping people, nor was I wise enough to be thinking about how I could make money. I was probably only focused on hanging out with my friends and playing sports. That was probably it. Yeah.
So Ryan, talk to folks a little bit about what you came up with. Like, what's the idea you've been working on for the last few months?
So it's called Reading Buddy, and what I do is I read to kids between 4 and 6 years old for 15 minutes.
Right. And how did you even come up with the idea? Like, aside from you were bored and all that kind of stuff, like what made you choose this thing?
Well, once I figured out I wanted to start a business, I was thinking of ideas, and you were helping me, and I think you said you could read to little kids.
Yeah. And what did we also think about in terms of why that was so helpful?
Well, it gives their parents a break from being around them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps the kids with me reading to them.
Now, how do you choose what stories or what books to read to the kids?
So I have a lot of kids' books from when I was younger. And what I usually do is I usually get 3 books and hold them up and say, do you want me to read this one, or this one?
He's already using the 3-option close, Richard.
Yes, he is. He is. What have you been reading? Are you reading to boys or girls? Like, what kind of things are you noticing?
I'm reading to both.
Yeah. And do we even know where these people live? Because we've sort of found them, through me helping you on LinkedIn. Like, I would post about it and get people to sign up. Have you ever talked to anybody about what state they're in? We don't want to mention cities.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what city, but I've had, I think, a lot of people in California, most of them. I think one of them were in New Jersey,
Oh,
which is
cool.
pretty cool. I don't really know
That's,
where.
and what are you charging, and then what are we doing with the money aside from helping the parents and helping the kids? What are we doing about the money?
So I'm charging $3, and that $3 goes to the World Central Kitchen. Um, and they help give food to people who need food.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's talk about the business side, right? Like, so, you know, you and I've had a lot of conversations. So once you get someone to sign up, what needs to happen? What are the things you need to do to remember to, make sure it goes smoothly?
Um, so when they sign up,
Hmm.
um, what I first do is I send them a calendar invite through Google Calendars, and give them the link and the day and the time. And then I give them the Zoom link so they can join it.
Does everybody show up?
No, definitely not.
So what happens then? What do you do?
So I always wait the 15 minutes,
Mhm.
just sitting there waiting if they join, because usually I have nothing right after it. So I always wait the 15 minutes, um, and they don't join.
Riley, have you ever tried sending them a message like 30 minutes before the meeting starts, just to say, hey, just a reminder, we have this meeting. Is it still a good time?
So I automatically set up a reminder that sends them an email that says 30 minutes before. And usually if they don't join after, I send them an email saying, did I get the time right?
Mhm.
Even though I know I did. They have to.
We've all been there, dude. We've all been there.
Yeah, did I get the time right? And do you want to reschedule?
Now, is that frustrating when people don't show up to your appointment?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you shake it off so you're not in a bad mood?
Well, it's pretty easy. Like, it's not hard.
So what do you do? Like, what's a good strategy? Because maybe it's not easy for other people who run a business.
Um, I usually think about what's a better way to let them know. Like maybe sending another email 15 minutes before.
Oh,
So
okay.
then if they're not there for that one, they're there for that one.
Do you ever like go outside and jump on the trampoline or ride your bike or something to like, get your
No,
mind off of it? No?
no.
No? Okay.
Riley usually goes into movies. He's the movie buff of the family. He's probably seen more movies than you have, Scott.
Now, what's your favorite part of the business so far? Was it like the idea? Is it getting people to sign up? Is it actually doing the actual reading? What's your favorite part?
Well, it's probably every person's favorite part, which is getting the money.
You like getting paid the most, huh?
Yeah, but not the most, but I like reading to people. I enjoy reading to them. Um, and I like doing what I enjoy.
Good.
Hey, do all the kids pay attention, or
Well, usually when I start to lose them, I kind of exaggerate it, yeah.
what do you mean?
So I usually talk a little louder,
Mm-hmm.
and then I say it in different voices.
Ah,
You're playing with the tone of your voice then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
that's super smart. What can the parents actually walk away for 15 minutes once they're comfortable with you, right? Like they know that you're a good kid and all that. Will they walk away, or do most of the parents sit there, do you think?
They usually sit there.
They do.
Yeah, a lot of times sometimes they're right next to the kid, making sure they pay attention. Sometimes they're behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Cool. Um, what's his, what's the least favorite part of the business? What do you not like?
Probably people not showing up.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready. I usually get ready 15 minutes before. I take a few deep breaths before I join the Zoom meeting, just so I
love
can
that. I love that. Yeah.
mentally get ready for it. And then they don't show up.
And your heart breaks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that part's
So,
not fun. Riley,
really
let me ask you a question, Riley.
Mhm.
Do you think you'll ever be a salesperson like your dad?
Maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You
Maybe.
like selling stuff, or do you just like getting paid?
I like selling stuff. It's a lot of fun.
What's something else that you like to sell other than your reading buddy business?
Well, I've done a lot of lemonade stands.
Yeah.
For
What's your secret to having a profitable lemonade stand?
well, when they show up, I'm usually very nice to them. And sometimes I try and get them to get another one. Like,
oh yeah, how do you do
sometimes
that?
there's cookies there, and I'm like, if you really like that one, this one looks really good too.
Nice. Okay, so just to be clear, so one of the things that helps you sell is to be really friendly and be good with customer service, right?
Mhm.
And then you try to upsell people as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
or cross sell, right? From lemonade to cookies.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And what's one of the most important things about having a good lemonade stand?
Probably getting people's attention, because a lot of people drive by and don't see it.
But so what does that mean? Do you just put it on any street, or where do you put it?
First, I find a street where there's usually a lot of cars. Two, I make a big sign. So then they'll see that it's a lemonade stand. And three, I yell lemonade to get their attention.
We actually did this with the whole family and our neighbors who we've been, potting, quarantining with, right? Scott doesn't even know about this. Tell everybody about the market you guys created last Friday.
So we made a market where we sell things, and I did burgers with lightly toasted baguette as the bun, and I made a lot of money.
But who made the burgers?
Me.
Yeah. And what else was at the market? What did the other people have in the market?
So someone had lemonade and like necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had a bunch of treats and sweets and snickerdoodle cookies. And what they did that I did not do was bring the price down. And the reason I didn't do that is because if I made the burgers well, and if people wanted another burger, they're going to have to pay the full price for it.
What if somebody, only had like half as much? How much were you charging for the burgers?
$2.
What if I only had like $1.50?
I would usually give you that 50-cent loan and make you pay me back later.
Okay. With interest? Are you going to charge me interest? Do you know about interest yet?
I've heard of it, but I forget what it is.
That's okay. All right.
Who did you have the best margins of your food? Do you remember learning about margins?
No.
Don't remember, or you don't know who had the best?
Oh, who made the most money?
No, remember, margin is what was your costs to make the burger.
Oh,
Or,
and then subtract.
right, you have to subtract the cost from what you. Do you remember who had the best margin?
Yes.
Who?
My neighbor.
Yeah.
What did he do or she do differently than you?
She I forget actually.
Where did she
Oh,
get?
I think she did two things and I only did one thing.
Yeah. She also, I think, she had a lot of materials already in the house.
Yeah. I had to pay for everything and she already had all of it.
Yeah. And did you guys have to go and pay a little bit back to the parents who paid for some of the stuff?
Yeah, I paid $15 back.
Yep.
Or $7 back.
Yep.
I forget.
So
Now I heard that you have a couple questions for us, Riley.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first question is, how do you two decide who will speak during the podcast?
whoever's fastest.
Yeah. Usually we just talk over each other until somebody backs down.
So, I think we've gotten a pretty good rapport, and we can kind of tell where if Scott starts asking a question, I can kind of tell he's going in a certain direction, and I can sort of step back, and then he knows the same thing about me. But it's a good question. So
there's another trick too, Riley, and that's sometimes one of us will put ourselves on mute. And so if I see Richard on mute, then I know, okay, it's my turn, to talk, right? Mm-hmm. And if I put myself on mute, I'm trying to signal to Richard that maybe it's his turn to talk.
Mm-hmm. So the second question is, what is your favorite part of podcasting together?
I think it's a good way for your dad and I to make sure that we get to hang out and talk a couple times every week. Over the last couple months, I've probably spent more time with your dad on Zoom and talking to your dad than any other human on the planet. Mm-hmm. So, it's a good way to hang out with your friend and be productive and, feel like we're having interesting conversations with super smart, successful people, and we get to learn stuff, and then we get to share these episodes with other people who hopefully get to learn stuff.
Mm-hmm. And another question is, what was
wait, Riley, your dad didn't say what his favorite part of podcasting together is. Does that mean
he didn't say anything, so I thought he was dead.
That's all right. So my answer is, yeah, I think it creates the bond that Scott and I enjoy with each other on a multitude of levels, personally, professionally, as parents. Sometimes we'll talk about the boys and his kids who you're friends with, and
yes, and how wonderful you all are all the time.
Right. We talk about how perfect you all are when you're sleeping, but to Scott's point, it's just a nice way to stay connected to somebody you're really close with. And then, of course, we do like the fact that we're trying to support other people, that people who listen to the podcast can get something out of it or learn something out of it, which is also the reason we wanted to do this with you, because, you're 12 and you're already thinking in, very mature and interesting ways. And you're reminding us and everybody who's listening about, we've got to have a good process, and we need to know what happens when something doesn't go right. These are all things we all face every day as adults in our business. And to hear it from a 12-year-old is fascinating and encouraging that, okay, we're not messing up the world. So I think those are the things we like about it.
And the third question is, what was the last surf and sales like?
So that one was pretty cool. Because it's Scott's brainchild, right? So I'm going to let Scott answer first.
Well, I'm really glad that we got to do it, because we did it right at the end of February before, COVID got super, super serious in this part of the world. So I feel really fortunate that we were able to do it. Got to spend time with some really cool people and got to have some fun and do some surfing, and we did a zip line and ate some good food. And it was really fun. It was a blast. But now I feel like I really need to go back and we can't go back right now. And so I feel a little bit frustrated that we're not at the beach in Costa Rica again.
Riley, should we do a family surf and sales? Will you come?
Yes, I would definitely come.
Now, what would that look like, Riley? Sell me on this idea of family surf and sales. How would this work?
Well, both the families would come, and the parents. Do you guys have a pool at the place you stay?
We do. We actually have every single house that we have for our guests has a swimming pool.
Uh-huh. So the parents could be inside, like, drinking wine and stuff, and the kids could be out in the pool or the beach swimming and stuff. And then it will give you guys some time away from us, finally, after all the quarantine and stuff. And it'll give us some time to play together.
Now, what about the guests that we that are coming to Surf and Sales? Should they be bringing their family too, or should it just be you and my kids?
They should bring their family too.
Oh, okay. Everybody. It's a big, huge family Surf and Sales.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Richard and your dad and I might need to get more houses then, so we have more room.
Yeah.
You think we could charge more for that though?
Yeah.
Because it's combining summer camp for the kids, Scott. We get right.
We'll increase our staff to have on-site babysitting.
The surf lessons, right?
Yeah.
So we got all that. Riley, you got one more question for us, right?
Yes. Scott, who curses more, you or my dad?
Oh, definitely me. Definitely me.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Dad?
What's that?
You agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think on the podcast, I think we're probably pretty equal. But, I don't know. Scott's maybe shaking his head like, no, Richard.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, Riley, this is what you should do, Riley. You can go back and listen to all 120 episodes and create a tally sheet of all the bad words. And then you can see who said the most. Actually, don't do that. That's really bad advice. Ignore everything I just said. Just know that it's probably me and not your dad.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Riley, we need you to read the sponsor information one more time before we get out of here.
Wait, hold on. The other thing too, though, Riley, give out your web address. So if people do have kids and they want to sign up, where should people go find you?
They should go on readingbuddy.co, and they can read a little bit about me and email me.
Cool. Awesome. All right, give us the promo, bud.
Lead 411, where you can get unlimited mobile direct phone numbers, sales, internet data via role changes, jobs and funding, and Slick Chrome extension that plus into LinkedIn.
Cool.
Okay.
But this was awesome.
Thanks so much, Riley. Good luck with Reading Buddy, man.
Thank you.
Riley, before we get out of here, I have one really, really important question to ask you. Okay? You ready? Okay. Now, I'm going to read off names of a couple friends of ours and some former guests who've been on the show, along with the number of downloads that their episode got. Okay? You ready? Nick Maida, 247. Morgan Ingram, 242. Daryl Prale, 230. Now, my question for you is, how many downloads will your episode of the Surf and Sales podcast get? And will you defeat those three gentlemen?
Yes, I think this is going to get 275 downloads.
Okay. And if it does, are you going to send those guys a little gift, a little something, just to brag a little bit? Or are you going to be really, really gracious and just,
No, I'll definitely send them some.
Perfect. All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. 275 downloads, people. That's the goal. You heard it here first. Help Riley defeat some of our friends.
Awesome, bud.